The Shadow in the Night starts fairly soon after the last episode ended, and seems to take place mainly on one evening. It's like the party episodes of The White Lotus, only with less incest. And once again, it's very dark in a lot of scenes, so it's hard to make out what's going on, but I'll try to make some sense of it. The main setting this week is Tanchico, a port city full of thieves and criminals, so of course they give everybody Liverpool accents. We get Leandrin's tragic backstory, where she escapes captivity as a single mother, only to be ensnared by Ishmael. She never had a chance really, and she's still being manipulated by Lanfear, just another pawn in the Forsaken's power games. She's still evil, but it's good to have a bit more insight into what made her that way. Two of her followers are dead by the end, so at this rate Nynaeve and Elaine won't be outnumbered by the time they find them. Speaking of, there are some fun scenes of them enjoying Tanchico's nightlife and letting their hair down. Nynaeve gets drunk for possibly the first time in her life, and Chiara Coveney as Elaine gets to show a whole different side to her character. She shows her range by doing a spot-on Liverpool accent, which could be her real one for all I know, and we hear her fine singing voice as she gives a rendition of The Hills of Tanchico, which I did not realise was about breasts until after the episode was over. They really should have been a bit less subtle about it. Moghedien is responsible for many of the most disturbing scenes. Leia Costa is clearly having the time of her life, causing chaos with the Black Ajar, ripping up their clothes and chewing up their food and spitting it out. The scene where she takes control of Nynaeve and Elaine is one of the strongest in the whole series. You can see just how powerful she is, as she effortlessly turns two of the strongest characters into simpering, brain-dead idiots. It's a terrifying scene, with the only scrap of hope being that Nynaeve starts to fight back, so hopefully she will get her revenge before the end of the season. The Two Rivers is probably the least eventful location this week, as Perrin and Alana are still recovering from their wounds. Perrin and Fael have a nice bonding scene, where he tells her about his wife, and she opens up about her family. In the books, her mother was not a dark friend, but she doesn't come into the story until much later on, so the chances we'll get to that part are very slim anyway. The two of them have a good chemistry, and they finally kiss, though it seems a bit too soon for them to get married, so they may have to change that part. Alana is healed by Matt's sisters, both of whom appear to be channelers. I'm pretty sure it was just Bode in the books, but them holding hands to channel, like the twins in The Shining, is a strong visual, so it works for the show. In the Isle Waste, Egwene continues to be tormented by Lanfear in her dreams. Despite the Wise One's attempts to teach her, she's very much outnumbered, and I do not like her chances. At least she finally has a conversation with Rand about their relationship. It ends kind of abruptly, but I think they broke up. It's hard to say. I don't think cheating on her in a dream should be reason enough to break up, really. Especially when it's with someone as powerful as Lanfear, who you can't really say no to without endangering the lives of everyone you've ever met. But I'm not complaining. As I've said before, I'm not a fan of their relationship, and I'd much prefer them to move on to their love interests from the books. The big action scene comes right after this, as Samael attacks Rand from out of nowhere. Aviendha is quite impressive, conjuring up flaming spears. This might be the first time we've seen her channel, I think. Then Rand does something impressive with the power, and it's all over in no time at all. I'm not entirely sure what he did, or if Samael is dead now. They did not make it at all clear. I guess we'll find out next week. Rand's friendship with the little Aiel girl gives us a good scene at the start, explaining the concepts of Ji and To, as well as a very powerful ending where he tries to resurrect her dead corpse. It's the closest Rand has come to full-on madness so far. He does pull back at the end, but you do get the feeling that every time he channels, he's just going to get a bit more out of control. Which is something the show's been missing up to now, so it's good that they finally got there. Next week is apparently going to be all about the Two Rivers, with the big battle against the Trollocs and the White Cloaks. I'm not sure that needs a whole episode all to itself, when the other storylines are all nowhere near a conclusion, but that storyline has been lacking something so far, so maybe a bit more focus will bring an improvement. I do remember enjoying it a lot more in the book. So press subscribe if you want to catch my review of that, or check out the link in the description to my playlist of all my reviews of this season so far. And I'll see you next time.